Donikka Renee. I'm the host for the Black Page Testimonials. Right now, I'm speaking with Jesse Sanders. If you didn't know, let me tell you about the Black Pages. As a friendly reminder, the Black Page is a business directory guide for all consumers based out of Columbus, Ohio. Our goal is to impact and help sustain Black businesses. How are you doing today?
I am excellent. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Now
Good.
I got you sitting next to me.
Good.
Okay, I'm gonna let you know a little bit about him. He is a doctor, a family doctor, on top of that for children as well, and marriage.
Yes.
So, the first question of the day, you know I love the first questions of the day. Where are you from?
I am ready. I am originally from Indiana.
Are you?
Yes, I moved here to Columbus, Ohio in 2010.
What made you come, all the way from Indiana? Yeah.
Indiana's next door. I was going through a transition at that time.
Okay.
I was going through a divorce. My cousin and a friend of mine talked to me about Columbus and the opportunities in Columbus, and because I have never thought about Columbus before that time.
It's a great city.
Yeah, it is. It is a wonderful city. And so I, prayed about it and meditated on it and ended up relocating. And so here I am.
Now, with you saying that you are a doctor for family on top of that marriage, when you was going through your divorce, did you need to, doctor yourself, or did you have to reach out to another doctor to help you get through that?
I always believe that someone should have an accountability partner in whatever transition they are going through in life. And my accountability partner was my grandmother and my mom. Those are my two go-to people during my divorce. And I'm grateful for them.
Absolutely.
Because their advice, their guidance, it allowed me to see both sides, and they were transparent and open with me.
Okay.
So they were not just Team Jesse, but they were Team Integrity.
Awesome.
So they were great accountability partners to help me during that transition.
Now, with your last marriage, do you have any children?
I do.
Okay.
I have two wonderful daughters. Brianna, she is my 17-year-old, about to be 18 in September. So
okay.
She will be driving soon. Pray my strength. And then I have Brielle, my little angel. She is 8 years old. She'll be 9 in August. So yes.
Happy birthday.
Yes.
Awesome.
I'm telling you.
So on top of that, what schools did you attend to for you to be a therapist that you are known for today?
I attended Liberty University and also Metropolitan Christian University, which is where I received my doctorate degree in counseling. Was from Metropolitan Christian University in Louisville, Kentucky. Was
it complicated for you to remain focused?
It was not complicated. It was disciplined. I'll say that. So, of course, with me being a family man, with my oldest daughter, I'm a single father. My 17-year-old, she's with me full-time and has been for a little over 5 years.
Okay.
And then I co-parent with my youngest daughter. Her mother and I, we co-parent equally. And so it was disciplined. It was a lot of work, a lot of late nights, but I was determined. And I also had my daughters, that was a great support system. And we conversed about it before I went to school for my doctorate degree. And so it was great discipline, and I could say it was a process.
I know that's right.
Oh my gosh, late nights. Trust me, a lot of cappuccinos and Red Bulls.
Oh man, but it seems like to me that you did handle it very well, and that's great. It's not very rare that we run across a single Black man trying to make sure that they keep their family together and keep a career path. So I just want to go ahead and compliment you on that.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Hello, I am Dr. Jesse Sanders. I am a family counselor as well as an empowerment transitional coach. And it is my goal to partnership with you and to make you the best you that you can be. The depression rate is increasing. More people have anxiety. We need to understand that sometimes we have to search within ourselves to find the answer, and the answer is within you. So partnership with me. Allow us to work together to make you the best you that you can be for you. Visit us at www.iamredefined.org or give me a call, 614-695-5300. Until then, be the best redefined you that you can be.
reach outs with you being a therapist? You go out seeking to help children or parents that need guidance on, with their marriage?
Yeah, absolutely. I am always interacting with nonprofit organizations and with movements that are community development corporations that are out there to help our family units, to help our people. I'm always reaching out. There are times I even offer free services for low-income families, because to me it is about empowerment and it's about growth. And I will work with anyone who is ready to go to the next dimension, not just the next level, but the next dimension.
I will work.
I will co-labor with anyone who's ready, because I tell people, even me being the therapist, whether they're a paying client, whether I'm speaking somewhere, because I do that a lot as well. I travel and I speak. I tell people it is a partnership. It is not just me doing the work and me knowing it all. We're working together. So like in a marriage, in order for a marriage to be successful, there has to be great communication. There has to be a great foundation.
Yes.
And so I uphold those same belief systems when I partner with someone that I'm counseling and working with.
No, that's great. You mentioned on how you're a motivational speaker. How did you take place about that?
I've been in ministry in church all of my life. So I was born and raised in church. I ministered a lot, traveled, preaching a lot. And one day I spoke for a nonprofit organization, and the president, she told me, she said, you would be great at doing motivational speaking. And I never really thought about it, again, because I travel in ministry, so I was just used to the church setting. But when I saw so many people outside of those four walls who also needed the same message, the same push, that's what pushed me, is when I saw that there was a need that needed to be met. And if I could be a piece to the puzzle, then God, then do what you need to do.
Yes.
And he did it. And so the doors have just been flying open. And I'm grateful for every door. Yes.
Would you like for your kids to follow into your footsteps as being a doctor, for a therapist, or any type of such matter?
They do not have to follow into my footsteps as long as they continue to walk on the foundation that I lay, which is a foundation of integrity, a foundation of being authentic, because I believe that we're all diverse. So we all have something to offer to the world. So whatever they desire to do, I'm going to support them as their father.
I know that's
Just
right.
continue to walk on the road of integrity. If they maintain that, we're good.
What kind of practices would you recommend people that are dealing with, problems at home? I know you mentioned a lot about communication, but would you mention like maybe going out to dinner, doing couple things? Because I do feel like when kids are involved, you kind of miss that communication. You miss that spark that got them together. Now, I don't have any children, but I'm just saying, that's what I heard.
It gets busy. That's for sure.
I know that. Okay.
Yes. I do. I recommend for couples that are in a relationship, I recommend having a date night, going out, and if it's even not going out, if it's just being at home and discussing things outside of the bills and outside of the children. Have a relationship built outside of that.
Yes.
Because reality is that pretty soon the children are going to be gone. And there are so many couples who are together, and then when the children leave, they're lost. Because the foundation has just been the children, the family, and they did not include themselves. So they have been excluded this entire time, and they've been growing apart because they had just been operating, as business partners, as parents, but not as a couple. And that's important, to maintain that open communication and to maintain that time together, that oneness.
Alrighty. Now, if you don't mind me asking, I do want to bring up on how you said your grandparents played a big role of getting you through that. If you don't, if this is too touchy on a topic, you can go ahead and let me know.
I'm not gonna cry.
I know that's right. I'm just okay. Was your parents always in your life?
I always knew who my mom was. When I grew up, my father, he was murdered when I was young.
I'm sorry to hear about that.
Thank you. And my mom, she was on drugs. And so I moved in with my grandparents in middle school. And oh my gosh, I tell you, when I say they played such a big role, they did. One thing that my grandfather did not allow me to do, and I remember like it was yesterday, sitting in the brown Bonneville, is he did not allow me to be the victim. He did not allow me to use that as an excuse, because sometimes when we feel like that we're being victimized, we will kind of operate lawlessly.
Yes.
And we feel like that we have that right
Yes.
because I came out of this dysfunction. I was birthed out of this dysfunction. He did not allow that to be part of my story. And then I thought he was so mean. I was like, oh my gosh, that's just evil. Like, I don't got no room for error.
Right.
But it was a great muscle for me to flex because it first of all, it allowed me to speak to myself that, Jesse, you're not a victim. Your father passed, it hurts. Your mother is on drugs, you wish she was there, it hurts. But reality is that they're not. So you need to deal with this pain so that you can grow and move forward. And so even in my education, I can remember being in the 8th grade, I always said I did not, one, want to be on welfare, or two, have a welfare mentality.
Yes.
So I knew that I was designed to be great, even at a young age. I knew I was designed to be great. And so that was something that I held on to. And so I thank God because all of the odds were against me, being a minority male. Not having a 2-parent home, that was against me.
True.
Being a minority male was against me. And so I could have been in a grave, I could have been in a jail cell, but I thank God that was not my story. So I thank God for that support system from my grandparents. My mom and I, now we have a relationship.
Okay.
And I love her. We have a close relationship and I love her, but it was because I was able to heal. In the beginning, I did not allow anger or hurt to fester in my life. I knew that I had bigger things to focus on.
Right.
And I knew that I could not allow that to be my hindrance. And for me to say I'm a victim, because what we speak, we possess. And so I was determined not to be a victim. I was determined to be greater. I was determined to be better. And so I believe because of that, I was a better man. I'm a better father, a better entrepreneur, because I had that muscle to flex early on from my grandfather.
No, that's good. I see why you're a motivational speaker. You have me. I set my chest up. I'm like, go ahead, talk to me. I'm a winner. Yes,
I'm telling you,
that's
go
right.
out and conquer. Hello, I am Jesse Sanders, your family counselor and your empowerment life coach. And I'm here with my lovely daughters.
Hi, I'm Brianna.
Hi, I'm Brielle.
And as you can see, I understand the importance of the family unit. Whether you are a single parent, whether you are a guardian, or whether you're a married couple or a couple that's cohabitating together, it is time for us to come together in partnership, and we must take the dis out of dysfunctional. It is time for us to have functional families again, functional youth again. It is time for us to keep the main thing, which is our children. So I come today not to guide you, but to partner with you. So I ask that you visit us at www.iamredefined.org or telephone us at 614-695-5300. Until then, remain redefined.
I do feel that is what's wrong in today's generation. I know that I can't really, it's an opinion, it's not a fact because I don't have any children, but I do feel like since babies made babies, that's the way that I put it.
Very much so.
They are lost.
Yes.
They don't know where to go to. They don't have grandparents, like you and yourself do.
Yes.
Because the way the generation is creating itself, everybody's so young, no one's having the time to get the wisdom and knowledge.
Absolutely.
What would you think would need to be organized to help the young generation, because they are lost?
Yes, very much so. It's funny that you ask that because I am such an advocate for our community. And I'm an advocate for our community because I know that change is going to come from within.
Yes.
A lot of times we look on the outside for change to take place. That, I need to connect with this person on the outside or that person. And connections are great. But also we need to realize that all of the tools that we need is within our community.
Yes.
The issue is that we are not accessing those tools. So what do I need to do to access the tools so that our people can become a better people? That's why I connect, with great people. I connect with entrepreneurs.
that are out there doing their thing. And when I see that they operate with integrity, I want to connect with them, because if I'm a piece to the puzzle and you're a piece to the puzzle and we connect with someone else who's a piece to the puzzle, just think of the impact that we can have.
Yes.
And we can start a very positive revolution, because people now see that we realize the talent that we have. I realize the answers that I have. I now know that I can walk in the door where the tools are and possess those tools. And yes, it's going to take work. Yes, it's going to take me staying up late at night. But if we can come together as puzzle pieces and put this thing together, we can make this thing happen in 2018.
Yes.
We won't have to wait another 5 years, another 10 years. We won't have to march on every corner, because I'm using the power from within to make a dynamic change.
Yes.
And a lot of times we're just not accessing that, so we can't.
I don't know where to go to get it.
Exactly. But reality is that I'm going to have to do research. And it's funny, because my mom, her and I talked about this maybe a little over a month ago.
All right.
And she was telling me, she was like, Jesse, you are so resourceful. Like, it's almost like sometimes I'm her secretary. 'Cause she will call me with a question about anything.
Right.
And if I have the answer, I'll give her the answer. But I tell her, and she's like, how do you know this information? And I told her, it is so many late nights I stayed up. And when you know you are destined for greatness, sometimes our wheels turn in our head and we have to shut it off. But there are nights I would get ready for bed and would think about something. And then I would want to know the answer. I am such a researcher and such an analytical person. And so I would research the information, because what I feel like is that if you have information that I don't have, you were able to get it from somewhere. So I want to know how you were able to get it and where you got it from. So I will dig and research to gain that information.
Yes.
And I feel like that we're not doing that enough. So many times in our community, sometimes we feel like that the world owes us because of what we endured.
Yes.
Reality is that the world owes us nothing. We already have everything. We're just not accessing it.
Isn't he good? Ain't he good? Like, for real. Ain't he good? If it just makes you want to, I want to sit back. I don't want to do my job. I want to sit here and just sit. He's so good. Yes, I agree with everything that you're saying.
Yes, thank
I really
you.
do.
Thank you.
One of them, I guess you say Michael X, he said the best way to hide anything from, the N-word,
Yes.
if we're going to say black person,
Yes.
is put it in a book.
Yes.
And with them, using technology and Google so much, do you feel like books are more important and more valuable than what we use it for?
I feel like whatever resource gives you accurate information, to use it. One thing my godmother used to do when I was growing up, if I had a question, I didn't know an answer, she would make me look it up. And I hated it. I hated every time she would do that. I remember even being in middle school, we were in a store shopping, and there was like 20% off, 25% off, and I didn't know how to deduct the percentage from the price of the item. And so she literally, we're in the store, she said, you're about to learn how to deduct percentage. I hated it. I hated asking her questions, because I said, oh, Jesus, I am about to have to research this. And I already knew it. Oh my gosh. But that was the foundation that was laid for me. That's why I'm such a researcher now.
Yes.
And I do the same thing to my daughters, and they hate it, especially my oldest. She hates it. She was like, Dad, I know you're going to tell me I need to research it, but can you at least just give me a quick answer first, and then I'm a researcher. And then I'll tell her, I'll give you a quick answer after you research it. But because she knows I'm going to make her dig. But because one thing I want her to understand is that your wealth is created from your knowledge.
Yes.
And when you have knowledge, that is something that no one, whether within or outside of the community, can take away from you, because that is something you labored for. When you labor for something, you appreciate it more.
Remotely, I agree.
Yes.
Because back in their day with our ancestors, they didn't have the resources that we have today.
Exactly.
They didn't have the technology that they have today. I mean, let alone, they didn't want us to read.
Yes. Yes.
We got people
didn't want us to gain knowledge.
They didn't want us to gain knowledge.
Yes.
And with, technology, social media, I do feel like it's educating the young youth. And sometimes adults too. I mean, nowadays, what is considered an adult? Because kids are just doing whatever they want to do nowadays.
Some of them.
Some of them. Not all of them. He said not mine. He said not mine.
Not mine. No, Lord, not mine. Not in that house.
I know that's
no,
right.
Lord.
And I will say, like, we're the young age is being resourceful, but
Right.
not towards to guiding them to become successful.
Exactly.
And that's something that, you know, as a community of us minorities need to come together and
Yes.
work upon, because with our grandparents, you know, eventually getting older, they're not going to have the patience anymore to educate the kids. You know, they say it takes a village to raise a
Yes,
child.
yes.
We need to be that new village, that new
Yes.
generation of village to
Yes.
come together and raise the children.
I agree.
Thank you.
agree.
He's good. I'm telling
I
you. You see
agree.
how you got my motors going? Do you see how it will bounce off?
We
Come on
bouncing
now.
off each
It
other.
will bounce
It's
off.
the energy
All
bouncing off
right.
each other.
Yes, it will.
Yes, yes.
So would you like to mention on where they can find you when it comes to your social media pages?
Absolutely.
Okay.
On Facebook, it is just my name, Jesse Sanders,
All
Jesse, last name Sanders, and it is my photo, so you'll see my face on there.
You see this face?
And this is the face.
That's the face.
You'll see this face on there. And with Instagram and Twitter, everything else is Dr. Redefined.
All
so
right.
DrRedefined, Dr. Redefined, and then my website is www.iamredefined.org.
Y'all make sure y'all get all that information out. So before we launch off here, is there any locations that, you know, your followers, your viewers, or if someone is just tagging along and scroll down the information and is very intrigued, do you know what kind of current events you have going on?
Yes, at the end of July, I actually just got back from Nashville, and in July I will be in Canton, Ohio,
Okay.
Speaking at a Black empowerment event, and all my information will be updated on my website. I put all my information on Facebook as well, so people know I do Facebook Lives. I try to be consistent with that throughout the week, because not only for people to support me, but again, for us to be that unit for each other, that glue, that cohesive glue for each other, because we can do it. You know, some people, you know, are praying and fasting and waiting for God to do it, when reality is He already did His part.
Yes, He
We
did.
need to do our part. And I'm walking in wealth sooner versus later.
I know that's right.
Yes.
Now, would you say that this statement, a family that prays together stays together, do you feel like that's true?
Very much so true. And I believe that because it leaves less room for confusion.
Mm-hmm.
It leaves less room for issues. When you have a family that connects and becomes that actual family unit,
No outsiders can
you
break
have
it.
less chaos. It's a cord that's not easily broken.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your time and patience. Once again, my name is Donikka Renee. This is representing the Black page, Testimonials. I'm going to do it again. Hello, once again, this is Donikka Renee here. I'm your host for the Black page, Testimonials. I'm letting you know right now, this is Dr. Sanders. All the information is provided below the screen for you to find his website, his Instagram page, and his Facebook page. Please keep in contact that he also does live Facebook viewing. So if you just need something to uplift your spirit, or better yet, you just need some education to educate your friends, check out his Facebook page.
Please.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so nervous.
Awesome.